What is up, everybody? Bobby here, the Nintendo Guru. Time for the breakdown. Listen, it's simple. Every single week, Monday through Friday, I take the top Nintendo stories of the day, talk about them, discuss them, break them down, give my opinions on them. So,
here we go.
Listen, so the other day, last week or whatever, I was talking about this crazy little 2DS that I ordered, that I got from Japan. Dude, I love Animal Crossing. We all know this, right? We've been through the mill with this. We talked about it. I got this baby in the mail. A week later, most amazing eBay shipper seller that I've ever come across. So I want to do a little unboxing, show you guys this beautiful thing. Kind of go through and see what it is. First off, look at the back of this beautiful box, if you will, with me. Looks pretty darn cool. I can't read a damn thing it's saying, but whatever. I can see there's amiibo cards, there's amiibo, so I guess it's talking about all that stuff. And then we get in here and we open this up. Now I know the one thing this thing does not come with is a charger, so that's number one. Japan doesn't get chargers. The United States, we get them. One iteration we didn't get them. People lost their minds. People act like the worst thing in the world had just happened. So we get in. There's really nothing else in it. I mean, you see the box. It's empty. It's not empty. I pulled the other stuff out here. But typical stuff. I got a set of Japanese AR cards. Kind of cool. Then I got a warning in Japanese. Like, okay. Then I got this amiibo thing. Oh, it comes with an amiibo card. Check it. My first Japanese amiibo card. I like it. That is awesome. That is really cool. So, okay. So, I got me a Japanese amiibo card. I like it. And this is basically talking about the different amiibo that are available, the different packs that are out there, all that stuff. Really awesome. And then here's another, like, warning telling you how to do all the stuff. And then we get to the bad boy of the bad boys. And we open this up. And immediately it feels different than your typical 3DS. This is a 2DS, I know that. But here's right off Jump Street, like feeling it immediately. I'm telling you, the thing feels different. Here's the number one difference. This lip up along the top. It's not on typical 3DSs. Like typical 3DS XLs don't have those on them. Now you open it up and it feels like your typical 3DS. Now at this point, it feels very comfortable. The screen is bigger on the top. There's more real estate on the top screen than the lower screen. These nice minty green buttons, I like them a lot. Feels very comfortable. I've never held a 2DS. I have one back there. I have a Zelda one. I never opened this thing up. The amazing Animal Crossing logo and all that. Like, just a beautiful piece of equipment. I love this thing. It is so nice. Really, seriously. The power button, also green. We got the green minty power button there. Just really, really nice. What goes in here? Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. So we get here is that's where the game cart goes, as well as the SD card. The SD card goes in the first slot. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this properly. So the SD card goes here, and then the game slot's there. So that's really cool. It's all in one there. So it's covered. Where on the 3DS XLs, they weren't covered up. I really like this thing. Now, stylus. There's the stylus. So the stylus is right here. It was hard to see. Stylus is right there. It was hard for me to see because obviously it's hidden a little bit. Right next to the headphone jacks and all that. I'm going to do some close-ups of it, show it off. So there we go. I love it. I love it. Thank you to the guy that sold it to me. Relatively cheap, $200 shipped. Not a bad price, especially for a special edition. I like it. I like it a lot. So, man, we're going to jump into this big rumor. And I had a couple stories here, but the one story just kind of evolved over the past couple of days. And it's going to this crazy level. And I kind of wanted to take a moment, discuss it and such. Craziness is that, so it starts out, the other day, I read this article from Nintendo Insider and all this stuff. And it's basically saying that they're taking and they're breaking down a report that started on Kinda Funny. They had a guy there who was on an episode of, I believe, the Gamescast, Kinda Funny Gamescast, and he was discussing some inside source information that he knew, and he was like, I'm working on a story now, I can't say too much about it, but he started dropping hints. And one of the hints is that Nintendo had planned to resurrect a dead game. That was his words. It started off as this weird rumor, right? So then immediately the internet kind of explodes. Now, I have notes here that I had written down, right? And I put rumor, Nintendo resurrecting a dead game. So that was the first thing that I had. And then I do my notes. And I can show you right here. Like, I do my notes and I break them down and all that stuff. And I start talking about different things. How I want to do things. All that stuff for my show. So I'm prepped. So I have my bullet points of what I want to talk about, what I don't want to talk about. So the first thing that I have on here to discuss is how Nintendo resurrected Bayonetta, where basically Platinum was going to build a game called Bayonetta 2, and it kind of fell apart. They were working with Sega, kind of dissipated, and no more. But Nintendo resurrected it and brought it as an exclusive to the Wii U. So immediately, I was going to discuss, and we're going to discuss it now a little bit, is how Nintendo has this history of revitalizing games that are pretty much dead. When they were so hungry for content on the Wii U, this was the thing that they did. They just leaned heavily into this and was like, we're going to bring games over that are basically dead. Then I go and I wanted to discuss some of the rumors that were being floated. Obviously, the number one rumors that were being floated were EA. So there was a lot of EA dead games this past year, a couple of them from Star Wars. We've had some Microsoft dead games basically shot down. And then the next thing I wanted to talk about was Telltale, because Telltale had a whole studio collapse. And I thought to myself, well, maybe would Nintendo jump in here and try to save some of those games and bring them to the Switch? And I started to think about it, and I was like, well, we had some games come that were basically dead, like we're getting, we got the Batman, the second part of Batman, that got brought over to the Switch. And then The Walking Dead, they just completed Season 3, and that's coming out and all that. And so in my mind, I thought, like, well, maybe that could be it. Never even thinking Platinum. And then today, it just comes out that the rumored game is Scalebound. Now, Scalebound was a game that Microsoft was working with Platinum, and they were building this game. And then, for whatever reason, Microsoft just didn't like the direction the game was going. They didn't like what they were seeing. They shut it down. Well, the relationship between Nintendo and Platinum, it's very storied. Like, we've had conversations on past podcasts recently where it's funny because I was just talking to Toby about it. Like, and we were saying, like, man, we wonder what that relationship really entails. Like, you know, this new game that just got announced at the last Nintendo Direct, like, did that get funded? Because, hey, man, you do me a favor and you do Star Fox, you finish off Star Fox for us, and then you can get funding for other games. People have constantly pointed to the Platinum Nintendo relationship and was like, why don't they just buy them? But it's interesting to see the way they're going now. Like, this is further proof that Nintendo believes in Platinum. This relationship between Nintendo and Platinum is just extending and stepping and going further. Now, my question is this, that I wonder is, because Microsoft began the funding on this game, does Microsoft kind of have rights to it, similar to the way Sega has rights to Bayonetta? Like, if you look at these Bayonetta games, Sega's logo is still in it, even though Nintendo is funding it completely. I wonder if it's going to be something very similar, where you will see a Microsoft logo in these games. I don't know. It's interesting. The whole thing is interesting, and it's all unraveling right now on the internet. People are just looking at all this crazy stuff and going, like, just as I'm sitting here talking, like, another tweet went out from Nintendo Insider, and they're talking about this is basically the way things are looking. Is that, like, Microsoft abandoned the trademark, so they don't own the trademark to the name Scalebound, so that's another hoop that Nintendo can get through pretty easily here. This is all pretty interesting, and this is all really exciting. If I'm being honest, it's crazy to think that in January 2017, Microsoft basically just shuts it down. And they're basically, Microsoft is quoted saying is after careful deliberation, it had come to the decision to end production for Scalebound. It was yet another high-profile Xbox exclusive at that point that like people were pointing, going like, "Oh my god, we got this!" It was this and Recore. It was a bunch of games that were all coming out at the same time. This was the one game that kind of got pushed back because of development woes. This is kind of interesting. This is very interesting, honestly. So I'm excited to see how this works out. Hopefully Nintendo can make this happen. I would be excited because it's another game. It's another exclusive game to the Switch that Nintendo basically pulled up out of the ashes and just brought it on to the greatness. So that is all. Thank you guys for watching today's episode of Nintendo Guru Daily. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please slap the like button down below. Share it with your friends. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button. I would truly appreciate that. Also, I want you to answer a question. Are you excited for this game to be Scalebound, if it is Scalebound? If it's not, what are you hoping gets announced? Because we don't know. There's no confirmation yet. We got to take this all with a grain of salt. Nintendo hasn't come out and confirmed it. So let me know in the comments below. Are you happy if it's Scalebound? Or if you're not, let me know what you would prefer to see. With that, you can follow me over on Instagram, Twitter, @Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Preston.